Alright, well, ideally a double upload, assuming I can ever freaking record it. This card isn't trying to send me to Davy Jones' locker. You're here at the, God, I feel like I'm in the time loop. I feel like I'm just doing this exact sequence over and over and over and over again. Because I am. Because I keep restarting the recording because I want this race to actually go well in the plot, and the car just doesn't seem to agree with that idea. And instead decides to drive as if it were on ice tires and just slide everywhere. And can't get near opponents, can't get near curbs, can't get near low gears, I just can't get near the road. I just can't, and I don't understand. I just don't understand. Anyway. Enough preemptive complaining. Let's actually start the race so you can actually see why I'm complaining. We have, the Indianapolis road course. Obviously very famous track for the Indy 500, but they don't usually go this way. Well, actually they do. It's just that's not the Indy 500, that's just something else. And we have a few standout drivers. First of all, on pole we have that. And then in P6, if I can ever remember to press this, I've also done that every time. I've also just hit the D-pad to move down when I should be pressing the right stick to move down the driver list. But in P6 we have Byrne in his Lamborghini, ironic since his picture of his car was taken here at sunset on the front stretch. This is looks identical. This is actually not number 1's car. This is the number 2 car. And that a correlation had never occurred to me until I said it out loud in the previous recordings. Like, this is not number 1 because the car is number 2. Wait a minute. That's also its own character. But I also never really liked number 2 very much in the show. And I was like, I don't think I really need to give them a character. He's not the main character, so I don't feel the need to. And I am playing as So Fast in his product placement Audi R8. Which, this is just further evidence. I don't know what that person was talking about. This car is not stable. Every curb, elevation change, or slightly offset cornering input is just going to destroy this car and everything it exists for. The start's usually actually gone well. It's just been other parts of the track that have been fatal for me, as I just attempt to predict that which cannot be predicted, that being this vehicle. And I will have to say, this is a very accurate decision to give So Fast this car. Pretty good performance in a straight line as the Aston Martin sits in my way, because apparently the little cruel pranks that kept going on me in the last race weren't enough for to have to be a pain in the butt here too. And the Z4s are back and near to... I'm sorry? Get the heck out of here. You weren't even near the road there. You literally just... You just cheated. The AI are not supposed to do that! Thank you. I mean, he waited, but we're just gonna ignore the fact that I basically crashed because a cheater was still next to me by cheating. Oh, that's not how you... Oh. I want to do this race because it has a good lineup of opponents, but at the same time I don't, because this car does not want to listen. You know what? Screw your rules. The game ain't gonna follow, I'm not gonna follow him either. Let's go right through the grass. I don't really care at this point. I'll probably spin again anyway in like 3 or 4 turns, so... I don't know what's doing it. I don't know what in the setup is wrong, or what in my ability to drive is wrong. But I chose this for the event as well. My I chose this as the event I was going to do because I have a league race at this track with this car. And if it drives anything like this in 36 hours, my championship hopes are screwed, because this is also the finale of that series, which is worth double points. So I'd be losing out on like 50 points rather than 25 if I don't win the race, which, I mean, I'm not going to win. I'm already accepting that as a non-possibility unless something really, really ridiculous happens. But so far, I think the only thing that's going to happen that's ridiculous is this car's handling. Okay, let's just make... Why am I even doing this still? Honestly... That's the one thing with planning out the plot of the story. There are just certain things that aren't meant to go the way you planned them. And this thing definitely being one of them, because, well, the plan was so fast with the low-level AI, and the track I'm pretty familiar with will just absolutely crush the opponents the way that Captain Falcon did at Donington. Instead we get this. A rage festival of the car not listening to me, and sliding everywhere like I'm driving on freaking ice, like I'm in the Pluto mines or something. I'm just... The reason I'm even still recording this one is just because I just had the idea of something of a blooper reel for all these rejected clips. I'd actually deleted the earliest ones, but if this seems at all interesting, I can somehow think of a way to do this that isn't a complete pain in the balls, then this will probably be the one of the clips, because, oh my god, I imagine it's probably going to be funny when I look back on it later, but right now I just want to kill someone, because this thing... It's a plague. It's literally, this one car is making me stop enjoying the game, because I have to drive it once a week in what would be my favorite racing league I run in, and instead it becomes hell on earth, because this thing, no matter what track, no matter how it's tuned, no matter how anything else, it doesn't seem to matter. The one constant is this car and I just don't get along. But it's the best team in the league and everyone else is doing it fine. So either the setup doesn't work, which is weird because it's just the setup that everyone else has, but mildly changed to help understeer. Yet I get the exact freaking opposite. I'm really trying to keep the language barrier, but honestly at this point is it even worth it? It's not going to be an official recording, it'll go up later. If it goes up at all. Get off of the goddamn curb! Screw it, language barrier is going out the window. It's not being uploaded. And you'll get to see the rated R side of me because this car is rated R for retarded. Not for R8, for just straight up redundant. I drive this unstable high-speed car when I can get a actual high-speed car if I just played as race cam here. Or anything like that, but instead we get this. I don't even want to turn it in, because I know as soon as I do, the car is going to spin again. I'm just like, it's again, it's a plague. That's what this is. It's a sickness that everyone else is cured for, and everyone else is immune to, and I just can't seem to find the vaccine. I don't know how I haven't just been probably not far from being lapped if I get like 2 more moments. I think this might be and this will be a scrap recording. This isn't going to be the episode because it's just painful to watch. But I don't even know if the race that I end up doing for the next episode will even be this, just because if this is how the race is going to go, I don't want to think about it more than I have to. I want to enjoy the game. That's kind of why I'm doing this series, honestly, because not only does it let me enjoy the characters, but also lets me enjoy the game by driving cars that I like. And not this pile of trash that everyone else can use, but I just can't. And I'm at a loss. I don't understand why this stupid fucking car is just something I just can't use, but everyone else on my team can drive it perfectly fine and even win races in it. But I can't. I know me and the team owner that makes setups has a different driving style. They're a little more aggressive than me. I tend to like the cars controllable, predictable, and therefore fun to drive for a long time. It's often, almost always, sacrificing outright speed to achieve that, but this car has neither thing. It doesn't have the pace that you would get from an aggressive driving style. It doesn't have the comfort you would get from a normal one either, or from mine, or any other one like it. And the fact that it's apparently supposed to be this really stable all-round car is, on one end or the other, absolute crass. I don't know again if it's me or if it's the car. But even on, like, because this is a setup that I had from last season's race, which I didn't even run because the game froze, because the game isn't all that reliable online either. I have another minor spin, and I'm just used to it. Like, the point of traction control is to keep your car from spinning, but clearly it's not doing its job. I think it needs to be fired and replaced with active stability management or something. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe to do this I actually need to have that on. I don't think this will be a time episode, but I think this might actually be... Should I choose to upload it at a later point, will end up being a separate thing, more branded as a rant video, with just me driving or attempting, therefore, to drive around this track. It's not the track, because there have been plenty of other tracks that I've raced this car on, and I've had an absolute nightmare. Zolder, Fuji, most recently Laguna Seca, Mount Panorama, which I'm not even putting in the series because that track is, if I do put in the series, it'll be way towards the end as like kind of like the hard mode tracks, because that's what it is. It's just ridiculously hard. Yeah, so this is kind of a behind the scenes too things. I'm kind of explaining the plot of the expected plot of things and how it's in no way ended up as that plan has. Like, okay, so it's also just me being slow, too, in this car. Not just me being unstable. I'm not even fast. I'm not even fast as like a, just a glass cannon. No, I'm just also slow. These AI are really low difficulty compared to what I did in, say, the last race. It's like a number slider. The highest I've gone is 92. And that ironically was, I want to say, Hockenheim with Alex, which I still won. The last episode they were actually at 89. This one they're at 74, and I'm slower than 13th place. And I'm not even making errors now. I'm actually starting to get a rhythm going. But unfortunately, it's really way too damn late for that now, because I'm 25 seconds away from 15th. And I think Nightfall actually has something to do with that. Cooler track temps, the car slides a little less. Still going to, of course, because this thing freaking hates me. But unfortunately, the league race isn't going to be at night. It's going to be in the afternoon, despite the track being lit well enough by these stadium lights. I'm not going to finish the race either. I'm probably going to cut it off towards the end, but probably run to like 9 minutes to go. Probably do one lap after this and... Nope. No, we're not. I'm just going to park here. Actually... No, we're going to watch the race. How are you doing that? This is an episode about you now, because so fast it just completely failed. And see if maybe he can catch that Mercedes. I doubt it. You know, no, this is going to be an episode now. This is... We're a self-referential series. Let's have all of the self-aware humor, self-aware commentary. And when I plan the series, everyone knows that. It's almost scripted. It's like wrestling. The plot is fake, the action is entirely real. And, I don't know, funny note. Ever since I started watching, that is actually getting closer to that Mercedes. Do you think you can actually do it? It'd be great to watch the AI fight each other and that come out as the winner. But I don't think that's on the cards. I should probably leave the interface on, huh? Yeah, that's also getting a higher top speed down the straightaway. And he thought about it? That's awfully interesting. We have the Z4 right behind him. How's our buddy Byrne doing? Oh, Byrne is actually going up the field. He started in 6th. Sitting in 4th now. So it's pretty great success for they're on hards. So was I. So yeah, it's not the tires. I thought it was maybe the tires I was on being wrong. No. You can actually see the track temp has gone way down. But yeah, I thought it was the tires I was on. Maybe those were wrong. Oh, they were not. That was actually the correct choice. And the first time I was on softs and the car felt bad then. It's like, okay, track temp is 100 and some degrees. Let me switch to the harder tire compound and see if maybe the car has any amount more grip. And then I spun sooner. So, that was a bad decision. You can actually see with the track, with it being nighttime, the ambient temperature only 57. The track temp went down on screen from 99 to 93. So I'm back up to 94. It's also hazy again. It's still 8.5 minutes, I think. Go look at the timing scoring down here and see what kind of lap times they're running. Yeah, 26s. I was running 28s with my best laps. So I just can't drive the Audi. There's a reason why of the characters I'm going to drive as, So Fast is the only one that has it. Carbon and Paradox are the number 2 and 3 Audis. But, or number 2 and 3 or 3 and 4, one of the two. Black and red Audis, basically, but I don't ever intend on playing as them because they're the serious villains, and that's not how this works. That, just kind of like in Universe 1, has changed, at least for the better for now, to be something of an ally. But we've had no such thing with Carbon. He's not turned over. He's allied with Paradox. So we believe. That's so Raven. Yeah, that's totally where I was going with that. No, that is back on top of that Mercedes, and I think he has the top speed advantage. They're about dead even, actually, but that is in the draft. So yeah, he would actually be slower. But the draft is letting him stay with that Mercedes. Burn is a little separated from the... Actually, it's really spread out in the back, but these three are really close together. The AI in this game are even more laid back than they are in Assetto Corsa, and that's why I don't watch the series and I instead race, because the AI aren't always the most thrilling. And without the idea of, oh look, it's, you know, all 15 Hot Wheels characters in the same race, so that novelty goes out the window when the opponents are randomly chosen. It just so happens that and Burn were in the race. So... there has been at least one Hot Wheels character as an opponent in ever. Not a series character, not always Hot Wheels character. Like Samurai Jack was in that Fuji with Dexter, and he's not Hot Wheels, he's just Cartoon Network. But there's always been one relevant character other than my car in every race, which... yeah, I mean, I guess when you've selected 45 characters or 45 cars to be represented there, you know, there's bound to be that way, but I figured there'd be a couple of cases where it wouldn't be that way. Sun's back up, track temp is going up quickly once again. The sun didn't seem to be gone for too long, to me. Maybe it's because of, I wasn't driving. Maybe that's why I feel this way, I don't know. Look at more calming experience, as it were. Nothing's really happening. That's kind of slowly losing track of that Mercedes. So he's not, I don't think he's gonna make the pass ever. I do wonder, I had the aggression turned down too. Didn't seem to look like it the way that the BMW Z4 was racing me, but we all know those things have a reputation for being pains in this series. Keep that about with that there. I wonder if the aggression had been higher had that been the case, if the AI would have tried to pass each other more than a couple of times. Since we've seen what they're capable of breaking at other times, when it's me, and even the Z4 still thought about it there for a brief second. Again. Should be just barely 3 laps to go here. It's just sort of weird to me too how if it were literally any other car, is he forced cheating again? I'll have to give the 73 a piece of my mind if I race him again. Especially if I should play as that, or burn when it happens. Because I imagine that is probably the only reason he's here in third, is he's just probably cheating some other way that I'm not seeing or talking about. Should be coming to 2 laps to go here. But just kind of one of those things of like, you know, of course the car that is most important for me to be skilled at driving is the one that I cannot drive. Because just... And I even made it obvious, like if it were literally any other car, I imagine I'd be still getting results. It's because it's this one specific car, this Audi R8, and I think we even still have one in the race I can kind of use for purposes of that somewhere. So there it is. This one vehicle that I'm stuck with is the only one of this class, besides maybe the Cadillac, that I cannot drive. But it's the one that I have to drive, and I have to drive well, because I'm not racing against AI, I'm racing against real people. Who think different, well, first of all, they think, period. But they think differently to me in many cases, and the human element makes it only harder. But at the same time, can also make it easier. Should be on the last lap here of the race. So, I'm sorry, I was getting bored of watching the race, so I ended up actually looking at Facebook Messenger, and I forgot I still had to do commentary. The race is now over, you can kind of tell that AI aren't going very fast. Everyone was super close back here in the middle of the field, but because it's just the way that AI work in this game, they didn't do anything. Mercedes does win, that fell off of pole. But Byrne, having gained 2 places, broke positive. Heading to the pit lane, we will be done here in this very different episode of the time loop. Plans have fallen apart, the script is broken. The almighty hero of Universe 1 has made himself look kind of foolish. Too much power for even his own hands to drive. And, yeah. What are you doing? Get in the pit lane, you fool! So yeah, and after several attempts and my blood beginning to cook because this car, or ability to drive it, just straight up eludes me. Should probably end the video now, huh? As I'm still using Messenger. So yeah, next time I'll be actually finishing the race. And here I was thinking last episode, maybe I'll win. I guess I didn't know what car I was going to pick at the time, because if I had known next race was so fast, I would have probably not even said that. Even by the time I play with him again, I'll figure out how to drive this stupid thing.